So I have a letter here from the CDC headquarters. I want to go ahead and read it. Now you can see, of course, on the screen with me is Jefferson Koji. I think he's the Secretary General for the political party of CDC. And he's the one who actually is the author or the composer of this letter I'm about to read, right? You know, I love these things. But anyway, let's get into it. Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, Office of the National Chairman, Temporary National Headquarters, 5th Street, Plumco, Cinco, Monrovia, Liberia. For immediate release, March 13, 2026. Fuya, from the Makona River to the Solumba border. The Baka regime's dangerous gamble with national peace. That's the title for that. Wow, that's crazy. Baka regime's dangerous gamble with national peace. Anyway, the letter reads, the Coalition for Democratic Change, CDC, speaks today with the voice of a movement that has defended Liberia's peace for nearly 2 decades. For 12 years in opposition, 6 years in government, Liberia remained stable because the CDC stood as a disciplined political force. Even while opposing those in power, we refuse to endanger the fragile peace of the republic. This is the first paragraph of the letter, and I completely disagree. I believe, in my personal humble opinion, I believe that CDC is the most violent political party in Liberia since 2005. So if we are crediting you talking about 12 years in opposition, 6 years in government, you know, you are the main reason, your disciplinary action or behavior is the main reason why peace has been kept in Liberia. That is a fallacy. That is a fallacy. Any credit to be given to anybody regarding peace in Liberia from 2005, it will go to Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. All of it will be given to Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. In my opinion, at least I would say, I'm not giving no credit for peace when it comes to CDC. Are you serious? Almost all the political violence that may have breaking out since 2005, CDC has something to do with it in Liberia. Let's start playing, man. Anyway, yet today, barely 2 years into the Baka's regime, Liberia finds itself staring at a dangerous border crisis. In Solumba, Lofa County, reports from local communities indicate that Guinean military forces seized mining equipment operating along the Makona River and crossed into Liberian territory. Video circulating across social media appears to show the Guinean flag raised inside Liberia. Gunshots were reportedly fired and a citizen was injured. This is not normal. This is not leadership. This is a dangerous failure on the Baka regime. Are you serious? Now, I agree with the entire, first half of that paragraph, whatsoever, because it was just reporting on what exactly happened at the border. But to say that this is a failure on Baka's regime leadership, what are you talking about? How is this a failure? You just alluded to the fact that the Guineans crossed into the country without any warning and started, misbehaving. How is that a failure on the president's leadership when he is in Monrovia? Something happened. Anybody can be attacked anytime. So the way you are standing like this in the picture at the ministry, I believe that this is at the Temple of Justice or something. If somebody just come from behind you and slap you at the back of your head, does that mean that you are a weak man, you don't know how to defend yourself? No, it's unknown to you. You didn't know who was coming behind you. The same way at a very, very remote border in Solumba, where there have been some type of peace for a while now, and people just decided and started disrupting peace and just crossed and started acting funny. Nobody was expecting it, right? You can't say that is a blame on Baka's regime. It's a failure on his regime. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, a government that can quickly deploy bulldozers and security forces to demolish the homes of defenseless Liberians now appears unable to defend the dignity of the republic itself. You see, I always talk about it. Sedition like to politicize everything. The demolishing of homes, we talk about it. A lot of them are government land, but to try to relate that to this is just political malpractice. Petty politics 101. That's how I call it. Anyway, the letter kept on going, and yet the Liberian people recently witnessed the Baka regime hurriedly disband a Muslim private security arrangement that had operated peacefully in the country for nearly 10 years, providing basic security duties primarily during the month of Ramadan. Come on, man. You see what I'm saying? The same thing I was saying. They still try to politicize the whole thing, dragging the people that are losing their houses in the name of development and dragging the Muslim people in here because why the Fula people, or at least a guy who was trying to build a security firm in the name of Fula security, got halted by the government saying that no, if you want to make security firm, it's okay, but do not name it like Fula security force or whatever case. It reminds people of the dark days that we had, the 14 years civil war. And now he's dragging all these things into this. That's why it is hard for me to listen to CDC political leaders, their political spokespeople, whenever they talk, like they just politicize everything. They don't criticize somebody coherently. They just bring in things that they have nothing to do with. They want to make you to be part of their struggle. Like, come, let's be together. We have a common cause, and what is that cause? The government is our enemy. No, the government is not our enemy. Just because I'm angry with the government right now doesn't mean that I'm an opposition of the government. I support the government. The government can do something wrong and I can criticize the government. But it doesn't mean that I'm an opposition of the government. You can criticize them, especially when they are doing something that you believe that they're not supposed to be doing. The way you guys go about things is very frustrating. It makes no sense. I always say this. To become a seditious, you have to throw logic away. Just fall in love with George Weah and that's all you need. Anything the leaders say, just say, yeah, that's true. That's the only way you can be a seditious. But if you want to start questioning every step of the way, like, why did you say this? Why are we doing this? Well, trust me, they will throw you overboard. You say, Mama, you're not ready. You're not seditious. You got to start asking questions and just follow blindly. You come and write this long letter trying to criticize the government, but you drawing in Fuller People Security Firm, you drawing in people who have lost their house due to road construction and military barrack construction, people who build their houses on government land and they lost their house. What are you doing? You're supposed to be talking about the Sonoma border. That's the main reason why you're writing a letter for. You say that it was a disastrous leadership on Bracker's part. So talk about that. Why are you bringing all these unnecessary events into the picture? Petty politics 101. That's how I call it. The letter continues. However, this same government has failed to respond swiftly to an alarmingly dangerous situation at Liberia's border, where gun-wielding local thugs were reportedly seen marching openly through Fuller City. Man, come on. What are you talking about? Even as we're talking now, we already have our immigration service already at the border there. And you're talking about swiftly. Anybody that followed that interaction with the Guinean troops, everything happened very, very swiftly. You would want for the president to deploy the army there with guns in their hand. And then any mistake happens, Baka is at war with Guinea. Leadership is about intelligence and wisdom. It's not about physical strength. If you respond to every attack with just physical strength, that just goes to prove that you have no wisdom. You can only solve your problem with physical approach. Hence why I say that CDC is the most violent political party in Liberia. You're talking two things that contradict one another in the same letter. You're saying that you are the peacemaker. At the same time, you blame the government for not taking physical action right away, which would have most likely resulted into a breakout, what they call it, a shot of violence between the two countries. As a matter of fact, I'm not reading the rest of this letter. I will just stop right here. You can continue reading it, which is just a huge, giant waste of time, and it will just bait me to getting angry and saying more foul stuff on here. Petty politics 101. That's what this is. If we want to criticize our government, it is our constitutional right to criticize our government. I want to live in a society where both the government or both the ruling party and the opposition party, when they talk, they all make sense. When they criticize each other, they criticize each other constructively. When they oppose each other logically. Not just because, oh man, I don't agree with you and I will do anything to try to diminish you and disgrace you and destroy you so that I can come into power. That approach for me, it doesn't work. This is the main reason why I don't align myself with any political party up until now. Because most of the time when political party leaders, when they speak, everything is in their interest and against the interest of the opposition. And it's just petty politics 101. Literally.